Preparing is being, got it. Meeting is now streaming live on Facebook. Woohoo! As it's live on one screen, it says it's preparing, and on the other screen, it says we're here. So I love that. So,
dual experience.
Dual experience. We're all about the experience, right?
Yes, there you go.
So good morning, everybody. We are so glad to have you join us. It is a rainy, it has been for a couple days, rainy, cloudy in Vegas, which is so weird. I mean, it's just, I expect to wake up to the sunshine every day, and it hasn't been that. So I'm missing it.
Yeah. Although I love the fact that we're getting rain.
Oh yeah. Well, especially for your garden and stuff. But yeah. I love it too. I mean, I really love rainy days. Those are the days I don't want to be at the computer. I want to go sit and, put my little fireplace on, even though I might not be that cold, and read a book, do that.
That's it. It's read a book, Sosie.
It is. So we are excited. Here we are, we're already in the second week of the year, brand new year. So Lisa, I hadn't prepared you ahead of time. So what are you doing different this year? I'm not necessarily resolutions, any of that, but are you doing something different this year?
Well, I'm doing a morning exercise that I get up and do now. Although I've discovered that there's no muscles in my body, so I have to.
Oh, I'll tell you,
So I feel a little bit like a noodle at this point, but.
Well, they say if we keep doing it, it will firm back up again.
This
right?
is the theory, yes.
So we do hope that is true.
Yes.
we could ask Dr. Denise about that. I'm sure she could fill us in on,
I feel more like I'm taking inventory on all the muscles I don't have.
Oh gosh, yeah. Trying to think if I'm really doing anything new. It has been my intention, yes, to go out and walk, take the dog out at least around the block. But I am a wimp. And I'm just not going to walk in the rain, and I'm not going to walk when it's really cold and windy. So I only got it in one time last week. So I'm already kind of falling behind, but one time was better than none. And so I really just, when the sun's out, because I'm finding that when I do that, I actually do feel better just to get up that whole, they say every hour you should get up and at least walk around your desk or something like that. Then I get up and I go fill up my teacup or something. But when I get up and take her for a little walk, that's good for her and it's good for me. So I don't know if it's going to happen today because it's really cloudy, sprinkly over here. I don't know how it is at your place.
So we have Karen Hagen and Kathy Weaver is here. So if I said that right on Karen's name. Yeah,
yay. Let's reawaken those muscles. All right. Hey, Kathy, good morning. And Karen, we're so glad to have you guys here. So yay. Well, I hear a lot of, let's see, how shall I say it? I hear a lot of negative stuff. Okay, the world is out, we've got stuff going on in the world. The economic situation is not like any of us would really like. I would like, inflation to be less. You go into the grocery store, it's so weird, and there are no eggs. Bill went to Costco, there were no eggs. I mean, wow. Is it weird or what? So there's a lot of weird, we're still, it may not be called COVID right now. It might not be called pandemic, but we're still experiencing the consequences, I guess, or the aftermath. So we're still kind of in that. So I thought today, I was thinking, we need fun. And I guess also too, when it's all cloudy and stuff, that's what it's like. I need some sunshine. I need some fun. So when you think of the word, Lisa, what first comes to your mind about fun? That's our word of the day.
Well, when I think of fun, I think of chickens. So.
Well, expand on that just a little bit.
Well, even during the time, like you were saying with COVID, and it's kind of been a downer and everything, I had just barely gotten my chickens right before COVID hit. And so when we were dealing with isolation and lockdown, every single morning I would go in and feed the chickens. And the chickens, when they're happy or they're excited about something, they make these little noises and you can't help but walk away like just feeling happy. Plus I have eggs. See, this is fun.
That's true. That's true. My husband might put in, he might nix,
In
but
order.
he won't get a chicken, you know.
Yeah, get a chicken. You have to get at least two.
Have to have at least two. So anyway, so in my book, I thought this all reminded me of my book, you know, fun. This is the old cover before Lisa recreated it. This is the old one, but Fun Fearless Female. And you know, the whole words of the group that we're in, Fun Fearless Female, starts with fun. You know, and I think the reason that resonates so much with me and with others is the fact that I think women go through their life and through the weeks and days without having much fun. You know, it's like, it seems like we have to be intentional to have fun. So I was going to read you a couple of, I did interviews for the book. So I interviewed people and, you know, asked, you know, what does fun mean to you? What does being fearless mean? So in the chapter of what does fun mean to you, I thought I'd just read a couple of these, and then I would love our audience out there to tell us what fun means to them. So fun is enjoying the people around. Oh, there always tries to be somebody to call me at this time. All right, here I am back in. Fun is enjoying the people around you. Let yourself laugh and try new things. That was from Shelley. And then Vanusa said, fun is smiling. Don't complain and look at the positive. I'm going to read. These are great. One day I saw some ladies sitting in the park playing with their kids, right? Their kids were on the playground equipment. So like that Vanusa, she was one of the ladies. And I just went over to them and I said, you know, I'm writing a book and I just love y'all's opinion. And it was so cool. They all talked to me. We had a great little visit. Fun is playing with my daughter. My brain is young. I tumble and run around with my daughter and friends, and she's proud of me. That was one of the ladies in the park, Cosette. I live for fun. I love to laugh and enjoy being around people I'm comfortable with, and I can relax. Forget about yourself and be open to others. I mean, it hits it right on the head, don't you think? And so I love that. Let's see, one more is I think more time with friends would be my idea of fun. Girlfriends are important. And when our lives are so caught up with other things, we still need to make time to be with each other. And, you know, I think that's so true. When I think of just fun, I really think of being with my girlfriends. I'm enjoying being with my grandkids. That's fun, playing with them. But just from a different perspective, being with girlfriends, like when we have our live in-person lunches, you know, I come away and I feel so good and we've laughed and had a good time. And I think when we, and yes, we have fun here in the mornings, you know, with all of you gals. But when we're together in person, I think the fun goes up a level. Then anytime we can be where we can laugh at ourselves, laugh at whatever, it just makes it so important. So do we have some comments over here? Chickens equal fun. All right. So I would love it if you guys, what is fun to you? And Kathy, I know it's your birthday month, so you have a lot of fun lined up. So what are some things that help you with fun? What are some other things about you, Lisa? I think of several things with you, but I'm going to see what you say first, and then I'm going to say what I think you do that's fun.
Oh, what I think is fun? Well,
yeah, besides your chickens, what are some things that you do?
Well, I mean, I love playing and learning with my grandkids, and before my grandkids, it was my kids. I loved learning and playing. I did homeschooling with them, and tell you the truth, some of the most fun that we had was some crazy things that other parents may not normally be doing unless they were homeschooling, but like dissecting a pig. That was the funniest thing. I'm with Elizabeth and we're at the kitchen table, which at that time was at the front door would see if you came in. And so we had everything laid out, and the pig and her Derek's friends came in and they walked in and went, what are you guys doing? And Elizabeth and I were just like totally glued on the learning part, and it was like, go away. We just had a lot of fun together, exploring the world, learning, having fun, and I get to repeat that with my grandkids now. So
Yeah, and that was one thing I was gonna point out, because I wanted you to say a couple things, because you've done some of the most fun, creative things with your grandkids. Because they come for what, like 2 weeks at a time in the summer and stay with you?
they
Just
do.
the
They
kids,
come for
right?
2 weeks, yeah, and yeah, we made a movie against a green screen one time, and we've done all kinds of stuff. So
I love
yeah.
that. I love that. I have to figure out how I can do some of that. Maybe. So at what age did they come and stay with you? Because I'm wondering what age I'll be able to
I
get him.
started having them come stay with me when they were, I think Brianna was 7 and Belle was 8.
Oh, okay.
It was, and then with the little one, it's been a little earlier, but I try not to take them before until they're about 4. So
Okay.
Ryland's still waiting, and some of the other kids are still waiting to come to grandma's. So
Yeah, that's a big coming of age, right? When they get to come to grandma's and stay.
yeah.
I
But
love that. So I'm
it's a
looking forward
blast.
to that. Because I think that probably, well, when you have them without the parents, and then you get to build your own bond with them, right? It's just
Yeah.
different. And I remember my mother always saying that, when she would come, because she would come to our house, Bill and I, it was such a blessing. Like once a year, we went on a golf trip, and mother came and stayed with the kids. I mean, so it was great. So when I got back, though, it was all about grandma, except she was grandmother. She didn't like the short names or anything. She was grandmother.
Right.
So it was great. So I look forward to that. And I was wondering if it might be 5 or 6, so they're able to come and actually stay and not get too over homesick and all that. Because
Yeah.
so anyway, that's fine. So what about you guys? I don't see any more comments over here. And if you are watching, actually, if you're watching the replay later on today, I would still love to have your comments to see what you guys are thinking. What do you do, for fun? Some people, I think just there's things out there like people that go skiing in the winter, and that's just what they look forward to all year, just that fun. I've never been much of a skier. I've tried it and I didn't kill myself, so that was a good thing. But I think we only did that once or twice. That didn't hit with us. For Bill and I would be going on a golf trip, and we really enjoyed that.
If I had any balance, it might be fun for me, but
yeah, it was just so different in the, and I do like fast, one of the things that did, Bill surprised me one, because I have to really watch myself, the whole pedal to the metal thing when I'm driving, because I like to drive fast. So one year he bought me a certificate, and I got to go out to the racetrack here in Vegas and drive those fast cars. And I think it was, I think my car, it would have gone faster, but I did find that I did have a limit as far as how comfortable I felt going. It was either 100 or 130, but it was pretty darn cool. The hardest part was getting in and out of the car, because you have to go in and they strap you in. It's a little claustrophobic, but not so much that I didn't want to do it. But if anybody's ever done that, or if you ever thought about it, it really is fun and worth it. So they have a pacer car that goes in front of you, and they just say, stay behind that car, because it takes you the way, when you're going around in the circle, let me go back over here. The force pulls you up the side and stuff. So you follow that car because it knows how to go. But I kept feeling like I was going to hit the back of that car. And they said, don't worry about it. He will always stay in front of you. But I didn't believe it. I felt like I was going to hit the back of that car. So I think I held myself back a little bit then. But that had to be one of the most fun things I've done. Just so different. And anyway, it was just really fun. So
that is fun.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, when I was younger, I took a car out on what they call 10-mile road it's near Canada. It's a straight 10-mile road near the border. And
really?
and full throttled my car there, but that was a lot of fun.
I would think so. We know when you drive cross country, which Bill and I do a lot, there's a lot of stretches and up, I think it's either, so I think it's I-70. The speed limit is actually 80. Now that's pretty good. I mean, and it's like, I like driving that 80, but you know what? I guess I still find myself going over that, like 80, and it's like, okay, now Delinda, really on the road, driving a real
So we'll
car.
just have
you're
to
not
start
on a
calling
race.
you Hot Rod Delinda, huh?
Yeah. That is one of the things that I do think is fun. So I have to watch myself. I've had a few tickets along the way, but not as many as you might expect for as much as I like to drive fast. So I want to see. Karen says dress up in matching family pajamas. That is fun.
That is fun.
Yeah, and this was the first year I did not buy. Didn't buy them for the guys. I've never done the PJs for the boys, but I have the girls. So every year for the last, as a matter of fact, Alicia said, Mom, my whole life, I mean, in 40 years, this is the first time I haven't had matching pajamas. Because I went a different direction. I had our great gal that's in our group here in Las Vegas, Angela, who made aprons, but we did do the guys too. She made cool aprons for everybody, for all the girls and the guys, and all the guys wound up with matching ones. So if we ever have a gathering with all the men, because my husband Bill cooks, and Alicia's husband Kyle, and my son Justin, they all three cook, which is amazing. And then the little boys, they have to match daddy. So that was kind of one of the things, but I haven't been with them, to see that, because we did not go back to Kansas City this year. So,
in your book, you came up with something that I think is kind of important to talk about when we talk about fun, is women don't take time to have fun for themselves. If they do, they tend to feel guilty. And I wonder how many of our audience have that challenge when they have fun, just for themselves. I mean, it's all the things we've talked about. We're doing fun things with people or for people. But I remember one time sitting down on the couch and I was feeling just horrible and thinking to myself, I'm going to go jump in the tub, put some candles on, and just relax and shut the door and tell everybody, leave me alone, put that sign on the door that says, do not knock unless you want to have trouble. So, and then I got up there and I started feeling guilty about being there and relaxing and everything. And then I realized it had been, and get this, it had been like 6 years since I had sat down and done something like that for myself.
Wow.
And I started thinking about that. I was like, wow, this is just way too long. The reason I'm probably going crazy is I haven't done anything fun for myself. And yet at the same time, it's been 6 years and I'm feeling guilty for the 5 minutes that I'm taking.
Oh, I know. As women, I'm telling you, we do guilt so well. And
Oh, wait.
It just, whether it's the world influence, I don't know, I'm going to say the church influence, because I think the church has had a lot of influence on that. I was raised Baptist, and there was like you've heard me say before, there's a lot of that do not stuff. So there was a lot of guilt there. And so I think that we do, we're getting better, out society wise, where there's really is a lot of talk and books and things about self-care. And that's really what that is. And it's, giving ourselves a break, because we're really better. We're really better mentally, but we're also better for our families or whoever else we're around if we take some of that time, and now I don't find digging in the dirt fun, but I bet you Dr. Laura, a lot of her fun, because I know she loves doing it so much that that's probably fun. And I know your garden, you garden as well. That's not really my idea of fun, but there have been times when I'm just planting flowers because they're so pretty that I just enjoy that time. And I think it's finding what does it, and it's and it can be different things. I think it probably is different things for everybody. I remember the first time I went to a movie by myself, that was such a huge step. It's like, oh my gosh. the middle of the afternoon, and I'm thinking the world is watching me. This is so wrong, But I thought, I enjoy movies, and I thought, why? Because in the middle of the day was when I had free before the kids got home, and I didn't do it a few times. But see, here I am justifying myself, right?
Yeah.
I justified myself because it was such a new concept. But Bill doesn't like to go to the movies, so I'm lucky if he'll go to the movies with me once a year. And nobody else was available. And I thought, why should I have to wait around for somebody to have fun?
Right.
So I went in and I got my popcorn, and it was just wonderful. That was a very, very freeing moment for me that time. So I think to yourself, what is something that you really enjoy that maybe you can do with others, but maybe you can do by yourself? Maybe if there's, I know there's some beautiful gardens. I think Powell Gardens is one of the names of them. They're in Kansas City. I don't know here in Vegas if there's any gardens to go look at, but if that's something you enjoy, you don't have to wait to take your family or your husband or your girlfriend go with you, but just go yourself and just see how relaxing and fun and just enjoyable that can be of taking those moments for yourself.
Well, and I think sometimes we want to go do things, and like you said, we hold ourselves back. So if anybody's had something they want to do, and it can be really simple. So like one day when it was just pouring rain outside, I went out there and started stomping around in the water out on the road in my bare feet. I mean, it was really deep, but in my bare feet, I rolled up my jeans and went out there and just stomped around, let the rain pour on me. And my neighbor comes out and he's just like, okay. but I was having fun, and it was something I hadn't done since I was like, 8.
Yeah, that reminds me. Yeah, that as little kids, isn't that one of the things kids love to do is go out and just jump and splash in the water puddles?
Yeah. But the problem is I think having fun, we grew up, and sometimes it's just fun to ungrow up.
Do some of those, like get that freedom we felt as a kid.
Yeah, it's just fun to pick up the pillow sometimes and smack your spouse and have a pillow fight. And sometimes, it's just fun to do something silly, look in the mirror and write something on your face and then erase it or something. I mean, just something you would do as a kid. I mean, I'm not talking about cutting your bangs by yourself, but
I think probably a lot of people have, taken the scissors to their hair.
But the childlikeness in us comes out when we have fun without restraint, in my opinion.
Yeah, I love that.
And
so again, I would say, what do you guys do for fun? Or what is something you'd like? Do you want to go out and jump in a water puddle? I mean, actually, that seems kind of cool.
It is cool.
I haven't done that.
And you have to do it barefoot. That's the part that's fun.
Oh, or have those special little rubber, those rubber.
You could, but believe it or not, it's like there's a contact with, because do you know kids, unless mom's over there saying you have to have your shoes on, kids have those shoes off and they're in that water having that tactile experience, and it is really fun.
There is something about that, about like grounding yourself.
Right.
I actually I like to walk barefoot. In the house, I usually have socks on just because the floors can be a little bit cold or whatever. But I like being barefoot, especially at the ocean. I love just walking barefoot in the sand. There is something, I don't know.
Well, that's why gardening is fun to me. I like, I take off the gloves and you get all dirty in the dirt, but it's that tactile experience that you're having, that grounding yourself with the earth, that's kind of fun too. Sandy Archer said, good morning. Good morning, Sandy.
Hi, Sandy. Good morning. What do you like to do for fun? Or what is something you want to do that you just have put off and put off and put off? As women, we put off a lot, you guys. I better take care of the family first, and I better do this first, and I can't get away, or whatever. It turns out, like Lisa, 6 years since you took a calming bath, and so think about it. If you haven't thought about it in a while, maybe put that on your list just as a something to do. Okay, I'm going to really put it out there. I think from a mental health standpoint, and because you deserve it, I'd say do something fun at least once a week. But if you can't make it once a week, at least once a month. I mean, put it on your calendar. But I do think that oftentimes it is the spontaneous things that we do where we have the most fun. So allow yourself to be spontaneous. I think we did that word sometime during the year this last year.
Yeah.
Because spontaneous really does open yourself up for a lot of fun. I was trying to think. I remember one time we were living in Franklin, Tennessee at the time. And so the kids were kindergarten and second grade, I think. And so we had gone to the movie because, again, we're movie buffs. So my kids like movies. And we went in and we saw a movie. And then we came out and I said, because they were doing great. Let's just go right back in and watch another one. So we went and bought a ticket and turned around and went back in again. And they just thought that was the coolest thing. We hadn't planned it, any of that, but just the doing it on the spot. My kids, I always took them out on their birthday. I didn't care, up until they were in high school, I think. They always got to have their birthday date off. And we just went out and did something. I can't even remember, but that was one of those times where we had it was one of their birthdays and we did that.
Mm-hmm.
So be thinking, maybe make yourself a list of just some things that you might want to do and open. Y'all heard me say before, and I think that's going to be, Lisa, I've talked about it. It's like, okay, this may be the name of the next book, although I have 2 or 3 in my head. And you can say it however we could ask them. So take the girdle off your brain, take the girdle off your mindset, and allow yourself to be free. Let those.
It's going to go back to that word again.
Ideas. I know. So Lisa and I are in a thought of which sounds better.
Tug of war. Yeah.
Well, we don't really fight, but I always have a little different opinion.
This is a fun fight.
This is a fun fight.
This is like
okay.
food
So
fight
which
only
word
with
do you?
words.
What's that?
I said this is like a food fight only with words.
Yeah. So what word do you like better? I would love your opinion. So take the girdle off your brain or take the girdle off your mindset. They both mean the same thing, but mindset is what we all talk about a lot. But that whole thing is we constrict ourselves. It's like having a girdle on our brain. If you think about, if you've ever worn a girdle or Spanx or anything tight, oh y'all, I just can't stand. I don't know how I made it 20 years in Mary Kay wearing pantyhose every day. But I'm telling you, the minute I walked in the door, the pantyhose came off. So I'm glad we don't have any guys listen. Who cares? But if you've ever worn a girdle or Spanx, that feeling when you get it, you can just take that off. It's like, it's the same thing. Take the girdle off your brain and let your mind expand. You'll have more fun. Life will be just a little bit better because of that. So anyway, I want y'all's opinion. Which word do you like best? Lisa and I, we're not we're not going to if you choose her word, I'm not going to be mad. Her word is mindset. My word is brain. Oh gosh. Well, this has been so fun. We're at the top of the hour. That always happens, gets there faster than we think. So any last comments? Sandy, zip lining. Oh, wow. So that's something you like and you've done, or it's something you want to do and love bowling. I enjoy bowling too. And Bill and I we actually had a couple that we were bowling with for about 2 years. We just would go over to the bowling, alley and do it once a week we would go. And we haven't done that now. Well, not since before COVID, but I think it had stopped before that. So bowling is fun. Zip lining scares me to death, but part of me would love to do it. But I just don't know if I have the real nerve to do it.
Oh, come on. Hot Rod Harris doesn't like zip lining, huh?
Wow, but you're just so out there hanging in the world. But I watch it, when they show it on movies and they start up in the tree and they're zip lining through the forest. Oh, that looks so amazing.
Doesn't it?
if I really wanted to do that, if it got important enough, I'd have to, part of it be getting a little better shape so I wouldn't feel, if your body's in better shape, you're gonna feel like, or at least this is my weird opinion about it. If I'm more physically in shape, I think I would feel more in control of my body when I'm floating through the air.
It makes total sense.
Oh, yeah, well, thank you very much. All right. Well, you guys, here we are. Thank you so much for being with us. We so appreciate you. And we've started into our 6th year of this live broadcast that we've been doing. Brain because it's a location. Okay. And everybody knows where your brain is. Anybody else? I don't see any of the comments. I love it. So that y'all who watch the replay, because I know there's a lot of y'all that watch the replay because you're just not available at this time in the morning. So, and I know I was on Doc and Queenie. I watched that, but I had to watch it a replay. 10 o'clock in Vegas on a Monday is pretty much impossible for me to be live. So I watched it last night. And it was really fun. It was a great show. So Kathy, y'all are doing a great job, you and Laura. And any last thoughts, Miss Lisa?
I challenge everybody to take one moment during the week and just slow down and have some fun that they want to do.
Absolutely. So one day, how about 15 minutes in the whole week, you guys? Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
even that. But if you could take a couple of hours or a day, that'd be even better. But just even give yourself that 15 minutes, because if you haven't done anything for yourself in a long time, it's going to be hard for you to do that. So just do wherever you are in that journey or along that line, do what works for you. So I'm with you, Lisa. Let's challenge that out there. All right, everybody. Remember that life is not a matter of chance. It is a matter of choice. So choose to take care of yourself. Choose to go have some fun this week and let us know what you do. All right. Take care and God bless you. Love you. Thanks for being here. Bye now.